In 1948, Israel had a government, an army, and a flag, but it did not have a word for the weather. Specifically, we had Geshem, rain, but we had 0 words for shower, that sudden violent burst of rain that defined the Israeli winter. For the meteorologists, this was an operational crisis. They needed precision. So in 1950, they forced a clumsy term onto the public, Mitrot Geshem, literally rains of rain. The public didn't just find it annoying, they found it offensive. Lawyers wrote furious letters arguing that the state was committing a linguistic crime, tautology. The meteorologists held the line. They essentially said, we define the sky, not you. It took 15 years for the Supreme Court of Hebrew, the Academy of the Hebrew Language, to intervene. They rejected the old terms, they debated new ones. Finally, the president of the Academy, Naftali Herz Sinai, decreed a new word, Mimtarim. In 1966, Mimtarim hit the radio waves, and the country erupted. This wasn't a complaint box issue, it was the biggest linguistic scandal in the state's history. Why? Because the weather forecast is a national ritual. When the Academy changed the words, they were tampering with the public's relationship with the land. Then the poet Yonatan Ratosh entered the fight. He claimed the state had stolen his word. He argued he had invented Mimtarim years earlier to mean rainfall in a collective sense. He accused the weatherman of taking his poetry and turning it into a bureaucratic technicality. The war over this single word lasted 3 full years. Newspapers ran op-eds, the radio issued formal apologies. Finally, in 1968, the editor of Ma'ariv unilaterally declared the debate closed. We use Mimtarim today not because everyone agreed, but because bureaucracy outlasted the poets. That is how modern Hebrew was built, not just in the streets, but in the trenches of the morning forecast. Now you know.